friends, this is Vicky with Grandma Vicky Crafts, and today we're going to make a cute little ghost, and we're going to use this wreath form that I got from the Dollar Tree, and it is the breast cancer awareness wreath form. So we'll need one of those. We need a piece of cardboard. I'm just using a piece of a cereal box. We'll need some nice thick white yarn. The kind I'm using here is Cozy Comfort, and it's made by Loops and Threads, but there's all kinds of thick yarn available. And then we'll need some ribbon to make a little bow for later. And of course a pair of scissors, hot glue gun, and glue sticks. Now, before we get started, I want to say that I saw this tutorial on the internet by a girl named Amber, I think, and it is the cutest little ghost, and you'll see as we make it. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is lay our wreath form and trace this small portion right in here, this small portion, onto our cardboard. So we'll just go ahead and do that to start with. And so there, that's what we have. So now we'll just set that aside for later, and we'll work with that later. So the first thing I did was I cut off a ball off of the yarn, just so that I had something easier to work with. Then I have hot glued right in the center part there, and I'm going to take my yarn and put it through. We're going to wind this all around, and that's why you needed to cut off yourself a piece to work with. So we want to go all around and around and around, all the way around until we get back down to around the other side, just like so. So I'll go and carry on with that, and I'll be back. So this is what it's looking like so far. Now I've run out of yarn at that point, so again I'm just going to pick up the yarn from the inside and just attach it to the top here with another dab of hot glue, and we'll just continue winding it around. So now we've got it all wrapped around the top part, and my yarn is still attached here. And now we're going to go across this way, across. And don't worry if there will be a little bit of a gap in there. We'll get to that later. But we'll cover it as best as we can. And then we're going to go all the way down what we'll call the little legs here, but we're going to cover straight across, all the way across. And you might want to hot glue it here and there just to hold it, but we'll see. But that's what it's going to look like, and I'm going to go all the way down to the very bottom, just going across both the little legs, like so. So here we are so far. Now I want to tell you, and I should have videoed this, but what I did when I had mentioned about having a hole here, what I did was I took my yarn as I was going across, winding it across, I took it and I weaved it like in and out through that opening that was up here. And And then that filled that little gap better. So if you want to try that, that's a good idea. But anyway, so here we are so far. Now, what I also did was, because we're going to put some tassels on the bottom to hang down here, I put a chenille stem across, and I just attached it to the bottom outside pieces of what we call these little legs on this. So then I'll show you what we're going to do with that when we get to that point. But now I'm out of yarn again at this point, so I'm just going to hot glue some more yarn onto the back, and then I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to go all the way around and all the way down to the bottom now. So here we are at the bottom. So now what I've done with this chenille stem that I've got attached here, I have made a little tie, and I'm going to tie them on. And what I did was I took a 16-inch piece, I folded it in half, then I took the folded side and I went up under the chenille stem until there is an opening. Then I put my two tails through there and I just snugged it up. And that's what we're going to have hanging down across the bottom. Then when I'm all finished, I've left myself a tail here so that I can come back across to give that a more finished edge. So we'll do that again. I've got a 16-inch piece of yarn, folded it in half. Then I've taken my folded top, I've put it under the chenille stem, and then I've pulled my two tails through and just snugged it up. And that's what that's going to look like across the bottom. So I'll carry on. I think I made 6. I'll see if I need more or not. So here it is with the little fringe on the bottom. So what I did, I had that extra tail hanging there. I did not bring it across. I just hot glued a piece down to match, and then on this corner I'm going to do the same, and I'm just going to glue another piece of yarn down the same length as what we have here, and that's going to finish that off. So then we'll get on to his face. So this is our little ghost so far. So now I'm going to set him aside and we're going to work on, this is the face. So what we want to do is we want to cut out our face, but we don't want to cut right on the line that we traced. We want to cut a little bit larger than that. So there we have our face. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our yarn again and we're going to glue the yarn. And this is going to be tricky, so you'll have to use a bit more glue because you'll want to go back and forth, and cover up your whole piece of cardboard. Okay? And then that will be his little face that we'll attach to the rest of our project. So I have my little face covered now. So what we want to do now is, if this is the front of your ghost and this is the front of your face, you want to glue the front onto the back of your little ghost. So we'll do that. And then out of out of felt, I cut out 2 little pieces for his eyes or her eyes, and a little smiley face and smile for her little mouth. And I think that's going to be pretty cute. So I'll go and glue all of these pieces on, and then we'll come back and work on the bow. So here he is now. He has his eyes on, his mouth on, and he's looking pretty cute. Now, right up here at the neck, I just put a chenille stem in between those 2 little wire things in here of the wreath form, and I'm going to attach his bow to that. So I have taken 2 ribbons. One is a 2.5 inch and the other one is a 1.5 inch. So I have 2 strips of the 2.5 inch, and I've measured out 16 inches. And I've got 1 strip of the 1.5 inch ribbon, and I've measured it 15 inches. So I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to fold it into the middle and fold this one into the middle. And then I'm going to just put a bead of glue on there to hold it together. I'm going to do that for both of the large ones and also for the small one. Then I'm going to put them all together and form my bow. Then for my tail of my bow, I've got a piece that is about 11 inches of the 2.5 inch and about 9 inches of the 1.5 inch. And I'm going to put them together as well and find my middle. And then I'm going to incorporate all this into my bow, and I'm going to put it on and attach it to my chenille stem. So I'll be back. So these are going to be my tails, the two pieces, and the 3 pieces are going to be my bow. So I'm going to, let's see here, can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to gather up into the middle for my bow tails, and I'm going to put that on and secure it. And then my 3 ribbons, I'm going to do the same. We'll find the middle, and we'll just scrunch up the middle like so. And then I'll incorporate that into there. So there we have our bow. So now we're going to fluff it out. So there's his little bow. And I think that looks pretty cute. So I'll just dovetail the ends on the ribbon. And with the excess chenille stem, I'm just going to tuck that back through and pull it through the back side and just cut it off. So there he is so far. So I think he's looking pretty cute. So we're going to give him a hat now. So now for his little hat, I have a piece of cardboard again, and this measures 6 by 8. So I think I'm going to put his hat on like that. And then I've got another piece, 2 inches by 10.5. So that will go on for the brim of his hat. So then I'm going to cover this in some black felt. And then I'll be back to, so here's our little ghost. And here's his little hat. And I put a little piece of the 1.5 inch ribbon all the way around it. I covered it front and back. And I will attach my little hat to the ghost's head. And I'll put a little hanger on the back so I can hang them on my door. And I think that's going to be really cute. So at the beginning of the video, I wanted to give credit to the lady whose video I watched, and I checked it again, and it is called This Southern Girl Can. So if you'd like to go to her channel and watch her tutorial, it's a little bit different than mine, but she does some pretty neat crafts over there too. So give her a big thumbs up for this one too. So if I've inspired you at all to want to make one, I hope you will. So if you would like, share with your friends, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and always remember to be kind. And thanks so much for watching. Bye now.